Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the Patreons, make sure to subscribe. And let's talk a little bit about maps, or specifically RRB, and what is the main problem with RRB right now, guys. That's the thing, a lot of people think it's because the maps are too small still. But guys, they actually changed that. And even with EC maps, people are still not really happy about what things are. So it's not for the map size specifically. I recorded 2 matches over here. I'm actually researching the F15J with the F16AJ, and you will notice 2 types of maps that we got. One larger one like this and a smaller one. And guys, you will notice that the 2 times that I actually played, like these 2 matches, the one that I actually had the most fun, the one that I actually got more kills and I was enjoying myself more was, and it will be in this video, the smaller map. It might be due to, I mean, of course, having to face lower rank aircraft as well. Of course, that's always a plus when you are in an aircraft that it's as strong as an F-16. But of course, there are some other factors. Notice how the size of the map basically makes me a little bit too late for the party every single time that I'm actually trying to fire a missile or anything like that. Apart from some instances, I'm always too late. There's always a friendly that it's nearby killing the target. Or, in the other way around, sometimes in other matches, it's always like the whole match is already over because the whole team, the enemy team, destroy your own and you are alone with a lot of targets. So at the end of the day, guys, if you notice these 2 matches, you will notice that the map size isn't the problem. The problem is the gameplay itself, the way that everything unfolds in that map. Yes, larger maps do help, but I gotta be honest, like, we have some exceptions, but in a general sense the map sizes are actually alright. The problem are some maps like Spain, for example. For me it's too small. You take off and you're already at like 20-30 kilometers, which is well inside any BVR missile like range, which means that you are able to shoot very, very soon. But that's the exception. There are not a lot of maps that are like that right now. They fixed most of them. But I think there are like at least 2 other things that makes people think that we are kinda having to need bigger maps, and why I don't think this is the solution. The first thing is that we have an overpopulated match. Even with bigger maps, we have way too many people flying around. At first, when this was actually added, you can go back and check the videos, I actually thought that this was a good idea, because I thought people would spread out a little bit more and you would have more interesting gameplay just because there are more people in different areas, so you will have different types of battles going on in the bigger map that they were adding. That is the case sometimes, but the majority of the times it's just a cluster of craziness in the middle of the map, and the match is over in 4 or 5 minutes. So overpopulating might be the problem with that. Why? Because once you actually have an advantage, it's really, really hard to turn around unless you have a very powerful player. So for example, if your team already lost like 2 or 3 guys at the start of the match for BVR or whatever, sometimes it's really, really hard to turn it around, and the team is going to, the enemy team is going to just eat your team alive, and 4 minutes afterwards, like 3 minutes, the match is over. That's normally what happens. And normally the match only drags around when there is one player that it's running back to the airfield, or one player that dropped all the missiles, like the F-14 players that like to just spam all the Phoenixes and RTB, or even bombers that are returning to the base. That's the only place that you will see a map or a match dragging a little bit more and having more time in the battle. And I mean, more time in the battle isn't always the best thing if you are just passively flying, right? So that's not the solution anyway. You don't need a longer match to have a better match. You just have to, you need to have a more active match to have a better match. A match that you are doing more stuff while you are flying, and not just flying towards a battle because the match is too big. The map is too big, right? So it's, yeah, map sizes should be increased in some certain exceptions, but in general the map sizes are alright. The problem is that we have an overpopulated match, and that makes it so that we have a bonus that is just getting more points. You know, you get more points because you have more targets to kill. But at the end of the day, if they make it a smaller match, the QE times would be smaller, of course. Not that the QE times are awful right now, but it would be smaller because you have more matches. Also, you would have a more direct input to the match. So your position, your take on the match would mean more. Why? Because you are a bigger part of the team in percentage, right? So you matter more. The thing about the points and everything like that, RP, money, they can always change it up a little bit. So if he has less players in a match, maybe get more points each kill, so that the kill matters more. And that's why I think this is the main thing, and this is where they should go. Making battles a little bit smaller in the size of how many players are there, but also increasing the points and everything like that to actually make it on the same level as it was before, on the sense of RP and money, as I said. The only difference would be that, as I said, your input into the match would matter more, and it would not only like have more importance, especially if your team is getting destroyed. So imagine your whole team is getting destroyed, but you are in a 15 versus 15 match. You have 10 enemies on the other side and only 3 in the other side. You have to kill 10 enemies, guys. While if you have, for example, an 8v8 match and you lost 4 in the enemy team, and then in your team it's only you only have 4 to kill, you know? So at the end of the day, it is a little bit easier to actually be able to be more important and capitalize on trying to win a match, you know? As I said, your input matters more because you have more chances against less targets. That's the main thing, I think. That's the main thing. That's the main problem that I see in the game right now. The map sizes, I think they are fine with the way that they are. It shouldn't be like way bigger than it is right now. And this is where I think Gaijin should go for it. There are some bonus tips that I would like to have. It's not only the size of the match that matters. Of course, as I said, the problem with matches right now is that, yeah, you have a bigger map, but then you are just passively flying for a longer period of time. That's why people don't like bigger maps normally, normal players. So how can we fix that? Well, that's the thing. We need more dynamic maps, different maps. Just like we have tanks, you know, tanks are problematic in certain ways as well, the maps and stuff, but in a general sense, because you have more of an importance on the terrain itself for tanks, at the end of the day, that's like the main thing about the tank maps, you know. If you have a city, if you have an open area, everything like that, every single part of the map has a different type of gameplay, so it's more engaging. And that's why I think there are, in a general sense, people that like to play more tanks than an aircraft. It's not about the tanks itself, it's just that it's more engaging, you know. There's danger at every corner. You can die or kill at every corner, and you have to pay attention, and that's engaging, that's actively playing, right? With aircraft, you have too much time just passively flying around in these bigger maps. And the maps themselves, they don't change too much. Yes, you will change a little bit of the terrain here and there, but at the end of the day, the missions, they are always the same. Even in tanks, you have more variety of missions. So that's a bonus tip. I think we need less people in the matches with the same amount of, you know, sizes and everything like that. Maybe take out the EC if they want to, but just leave the normal size maps that are in top tier right now. But add as well more stuff to do in the map. Add different types of targets to bomb, different types of ground targets to destroy, SAM sites for you to do seed, anti-ship missions so you get a bonus if you destroy a certain ship or anything like that. This would be way more engaging, you know. And even for the aircraft itself, for the fighting, dogfighting, etc., I think having less people would mean that strategy matters more than just pure ability to click 4 buttons in a certain configuration to win a dogfight, and the craziness of just trying to be 2 guys that are dogfighting you and then a third come and destroys you because there's so many targets to you to destroy. So it's always a luck thing of having the luck of not somebody jumping you at the end of the day. So these are my inputs on this. Bigger maps won't solve the problem, you know. The problem itself is what is it is just playing this map, you know, within this map. So this is my take on it. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, if you agree with me or not, and let me know your input. We need to create more of a community feel on this thing. So yeah, make sure to subscribe. Let me know in the comments. Like I said, remember I have a secondary channel for GTA and other stuff. So yeah, see you guys in the next one, and bye.